Have you ever found yourself sitting at home, maybe staring out the window, feeling like the world's just a little quieter than it used to be? You're not alone. Loneliness can creep in as we age, especially after 70, and it's something so many of us experience but don't always talk about. It's not just about being alone. It's that heavy feeling in your chest, like you're disconnected from the people and things that once made life feel full. But here's the good news. You can absolutely do something about it. In this video, we're diving into 5 reasons loneliness hits after 70 and, more importantly, practical ways to beat it. Whether you're feeling this yourself or you're watching this for someone you care about, stick with me. We're going to explore some simple, actionable steps to bring more connection and joy back into your life. Let's start with the first reason loneliness can hit so hard after 70. Life transitions. By the time we reach our 70s, life often throws big changes our way. Maybe you've retired, and suddenly, those daily chats with coworkers are gone. Or perhaps your kids have grown up, moved away, and started their own lives. Even losing a spouse or close friends can leave a gap that feels impossible to fill. These transitions can make the days feel emptier, like you're not sure where you fit anymore. I remember talking to my neighbor, Margaret, who's 74. She told me how after her husband passed, the house felt too big, too quiet. She missed the little things, like their evening talks over tea. That's what these transitions do. They shift the rhythm of our lives. So, how do you beat this? One powerful way is to create new routines that bring connection. Start small. Maybe it's joining a local book club at the library. Most towns have one, and they're often free. You don't even have to be a big reader. Just show up, listen, and share coffee with someone new. Or try volunteering. There's something special about helping others. It gives you purpose and a chance to meet people. Margaret started helping out at a community garden, and now she's got a whole crew of folks she chats with every week. It's not about replacing what you've lost, but about building something new. Look for one thing you can try this week. A class, a group, or even a regular walk where you might bump into the same people. Those small interactions add up, and before you know it, you've got a new rhythm. Now, let's talk about the second reason loneliness creeps in. Physical limitations. As we age, getting around isn't always as easy as it used to be. Maybe your knees ache, or you're not as steady on your feet, so you're staying home more. Or perhaps you've given up driving, and that makes it harder to get to social events. When you're stuck at home, it's easy to feel cut off from the world. I heard from a viewer, Tom, who's 76. He said after he stopped driving, he felt like his social life just dried up. He wasn't making it to his weekly card games anymore, and that isolation started to weigh on him. The trick here is to find ways to stay connected without needing to leave the house as much. Technology can be a game changer. If you've got a smartphone or a computer, try learning how to use video calls. Platforms like Zoom or FaceTime are easier than they seem, and many community centers offer free classes to help you get the hang of it. You could set up a weekly call with family or old friends. It's not the same as being there in person, but seeing someone's face and hearing their voice can lift your spirits. If tech feels overwhelming, start even simpler. Pick up the phone. Call one person a day, even if it's just a chat for 5 minutes. Another idea is to explore local services like senior transportation programs. Many towns offer low-cost or free rides to community events or doctor's appointments. Tom found a volunteer driver program through his church, and now he's back to his card games twice a month. It's about finding what works for you. Small steps that keep you in the loop. Let's keep going with our conversation about why loneliness can feel so heavy after 70 and what you can do to push it back. We've talked about how life transitions and physical limitations can make connection harder, but there's another big reason loneliness creeps in. Social circles naturally shrink. As we age, friends may move away, pass on, or just drift out of touch. Those weekly lunches or game nights you used to count on might not happen anymore, and it can feel like your world is getting smaller. I think of my old friend Clara, who's 72. She used to host these lively dinner parties, but over the years, her guest list dwindled as people moved or life changed. She told me it felt like her social life was fading, and she wasn't sure how to rebuild it. The good news is you can grow your social circle again, even if it looks different. One way to do this is by tapping into shared interests. Think about something you love. Maybe it's gardening, history, or even a favorite TV show. Then look for groups that share that passion. Local community centers or senior clubs often have hobby-based groups, like knitting circles or discussion groups about classic movies. If you're not sure where to start, check out your local library or church. They're gold mines for finding these kind of activities. Clara joined a local history club after seeing a flyer at her library, and now she's got a standing coffee date with 2 new friends she met there. It's not about forcing yourself into big social scenes. It's about finding a few people who get you. Even one new connection can make a huge difference. Try this. Pick one interest you've always enjoyed, and this week, look up one place where you might meet others who like it too. It could be as simple as a conversation at the community center that turns into a regular chat. Another reason loneliness can hit hard is a loss of purpose. After 70, a lot of us aren't tied to the roles that used to define us: parent, employee, caregiver. Without those, it's easy to feel like you're just floating through the days, and that can make loneliness feel heavier. I remember talking to John, a 78-year-old retired teacher. He said after he stopped teaching, he felt like he didn't have a reason to get up in the morning. That lack of purpose made him retreat inward, and he stopped reaching out to people. To tackle this, find something that gives you a spark, even if it's small. Purpose doesn't have to mean big, life-changing projects. It could be as simple as tending to a few plants on your windowsill or helping a neighbor with a small task. If you're able, consider mentoring or sharing your skills. Many communities have programs where seniors can read to kids at libraries or share life lessons with younger folks. John started tutoring kids at his local community center once a week, and he says it's like he's found his classroom again. It's not just about helping others. It's about feeling like you matter. If that feels like too much, start with something personal, like writing down stories from your life for your grandkids. That act of creating something meaningful can lift your spirits and give you a reason to connect with others. Try picking one small thing that feels meaningful to you, and do it just once this week. You might be surprised how it shifts your outlook. Now, let's touch on one more reason loneliness can settle in: changes in confidence. As we get older, it's easy to start doubting ourselves. Maybe you feel like you don't have as much to offer in conversations, or you worry tentang keeping up with younger folks. That self-doubt can make you hesitate to reach out or join new groups. I heard from a viewer, Ellen, who's 71. She said she stopped going to her church's social events because she felt like she couldn't relate to the younger crowd there anymore. That loss of confidence kept her home more than she wanted. The way to beat this is to remind yourself that you bring something unique to the table. Your experiences, your stories, your perspective. One practical step is to practice small social interactions to rebuild that confidence. Try striking up a quick chat with someone at the grocery store or saying hello to a neighbor during a walk. These little moments can help you feel more comfortable putting yourself out there. Another idea is to join a group where you're not the only senior. Think senior centers or fitness classes designed for older adults. You'll be around people who get what you're going through, and that can make it easier to open up. Ellen started attending a senior yoga class, and just being around others her age helped her feel like herself again. This week, try one small interaction: a smile, a hello, or a quick chat. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Let's keep our conversation going about tackling loneliness after 70. We've covered how life transitions, physical limitations, shrinking social circles, loss of purpose, and changes in confidence can make loneliness feel heavier. Now, let's wrap up with the final reason it can hit so hard and some practical ways to keep it at bay, plus a little encouragement to carry you forward. The fifth reason loneliness can creep in after 70 is the shift in how we view time. As we age, it's natural to start reflecting on the past or worrying about the future, and that can make the present feel a bit empty. You might find yourself thinking about the good old days or wondering how many years you've left, and that headspace can make it harder to connect with the moment or with others. I talked to a viewer, Sarah, who's 75. She shared that she'd spend hours thinking about her kids' childhoods or worrying about her health, and it left her feeling stuck, like she was watching life pass by instead of living it. That kind of thinking can make it tough to reach out or try new things. One way to beat this is to focus on staying present. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Try something called mindfulness. It's just about paying attention to what's happening right now. For example, when you're having a cup of coffee, really notice the warmth of the mug, the taste, the smell. Or when you're talking to someone, focus on their words instead of letting your mind wander. You can also try a short daily practice, like taking 5 minutes to sit quietly and notice your breathing. If that feels too formal, do something you enjoy with full attention. Maybe it's listening to music or tending to a small garden. Sarah started doing a little morning ritual where she sits by her window, watches the birds, and jots down one thing she's grateful for. She says it helps her start the day feeling grounded and open to connecting with others. You don't need to overhaul your life. Just try one moment this week where you really focus on the now. It can make reaching out to others feel less daunting. Another way to tackle this is to create tiny rituals that involve others. For instance, invite a neighbor over for tea once a month or set up a regular phone call with a family member. These small commitments can anchor you in the present and give you something to look forward to. If you're not sure who to reach out to, think about someone you've lost touch with, an old friend, a cousin, even a former colleague. A simple call or note can restart that connection. The key is to take one small step that feels doable. Those steps add up, and they help you feel more engaged with the world around you. Now, let's bring it all together. Loneliness after 70 can come from big life changes, physical challenges, smaller social circles, a loss of purpose, or even the way we think about time. But every single one of these has a workaround. Whether it's joining a local group, picking up the phone, finding a small purpose, practicing a bit of confidence, or staying present, you've got options. It's not about making huge changes overnight. It's about small, consistent steps that add light to your days. Think of someone like Margaret, who found her community in a garden, or John, who rediscovered his spark through tutoring. These aren't big, flashy fixes. They're real, practical things anyone can try. You're not alone in feeling this way, and you don't have to stay stuck. Start with one thing this week. Maybe a call to a friend, a walk to say hello to a neighbor, or checking out a local club. Small changes can make your world feel fuller and brighter. I'd love to hear how it goes for you. So please share your thoughts or experiences in the comment below. If you found this helpful, give the video a like and hit that subscribe button for more tips on living your best life at any age. Here's to building connections, finding joy, and making every day count. You've got this.